Welcome back to my channel. Starts and dies within minutes, forgotten as soon as she walks away, while others are using just a few powerful phrases that make women lean in closer, laugh louder, and remember them for days, not because they're trying too hard, but because they've tapped into something most men miss: emotional influence. What is the difference? Psychology. After coaching thousands of men and studying hundreds of real-life interactions in coffee shops, on dates, at bars, on apps, I have discovered three simple but magnetic phrases that trigger her natural curiosity, make you stand out instantly, and create attraction without trying hard. These phrases don't come from scripts, they come from real-world psychology, and most importantly from listening to what women actually respond to when they feel truly drawn in. Thebiest part: you can start using these today. No special skills required. You don't need to be a smooth talker, you just need to know what works and when. One of these phrases actually works so well that women will often text their friends about you immediately after hearing it. Literally, I've had clients tell me they saw her pull out her phone mid-conversation grinning as she sent a message that started with, "You won't believe what this guy just said." Another phrase will have her hanging on your every word, not because you're flashy, but because what you said struck something real inside her. And the third, it's my personal favorite for creating instant chemistry, that spark, that shift in the air, the kind that turns strangers into something more. Fast if you're ready to transform how women respond to you in conversations. Keep watching, because I'm about to reveal all three. Gentlemen, lead us. Talk about the moment everything changes, that instant when a conversation shifts from polite small talk to something electric, when her eyes light up, her body language opens, and you can feel the genuine connection forming. It's subtle but unmistakable, and it's a moment that most men either rush past or ruin. This is not luck, this is not magic, this is the science of attraction in action. And over the past decade, I have analyzed thousands of real-world interactions between men and women, from clients, from social experiments, from real dates. What I discovered will change how you approach dating forever. Most men make one critical mistake: they focus on what to say to impress women, when they should be focusing on how to make women feel the truth. Attraction is not about memorizing perfect lines, it is about understanding the psychological triggers that make someone feel drawn to you naturally. If it's their idea. Today I'm going to show you three phrases that work like secret keys. They bypass the logical mind and speak directly to her emotions. They tap into the part of her brain where connection lives, not the checklist part, the chemistry part. These are not pickup lines, these are not tricks, these the curiosity trigger. Our conversation shortcuts based on cutting-edge psychology research from Harvard and Stanford, and real-world testing with hundreds of my clients. Theory also built on the timeless principles of charismatic communication, the kind used by leaders, speakers, and emotionally intelligent men throughout history. One of these phrases can make you 83% more memorable, according to a UCLA study. Another creates what psychologists call instant intimacy, the feeling that she already knows you even if she just met you. And the third is so effective I've seen it work in as little as 30 seconds in cafes, events, even on dating apps. But here's what makes this different from typical dating advice: we're not here to manipulate, we're not here to play games, we are here to develop real social skills, skills that work in the boardroom, at the bar, on the street, or anywhere you meet someone special. By the end of this video you will understand exactly why these phrases work, when to use them, and how to adapt them to your personal style. No gimmicks, no nonsense, just practical tools you can use starting today. Let us begin with the first phrase, the one I call the curiosity trigger. Phrase 1: the unfinished thought. There is something interesting about how conversations work. When you start to say something but do not finish it, it naturally makes people curious. This is not a trick, it is just how our minds work. We want to know the rest of the story. Think about it: someone says, "You know what, never mind," and your brain has to fill in the blank. You start asking yourself, what were they going to see? Was it about me? Was it good, bad, personal? That's the exact moment curiosity takes over, and when it does, it opens a door for deeper connection. Here is how to use this in aerial conversation. Wait for a moment. When she says something interesting about herself, maybe she mentions a hobby or tells a story, like how she used to spend summers with her grandfather fixing up old cars, or how she volunteers at an animal shelter on weekends. Then you can say one of these: you remind me of. Actually, never mind, there's something about you that it's not important the way you said that makes me think. Forget I mentioned it. You say it softly, like it just crossed your Mind and you didn't plan to share it, no theatrics, no dramatic pause, just a little ripple in the rhythm of the moment, enough to make her lean in slightly, even if just in her thoughts. The key is to say it casually, like the thought just came to you. Do not make it sound like a line, then change the subject naturally. It could be something as simple as, "Anyway, what made you get into that?" Or, "That's cool though, tell me more about that trip, what happens next is interesting." Her mind will automatically wonder what you were going to say. She might ask you about it later or give you a curious look. This technique works so well because it mimics real life. How many times have you thought about something someone didn't finish saying hours, even days later? That's the power of unresolved thoughts. They linger. This creates a natural back and forth in the conversation, and when she does ask, and she probably will, have a real observation ready, not just about her looks. Not you. Remind me of my ex, or you have a cute laugh. That's surface level. What works is depth, sincerity, something that shows you actually listened. For example, I was going to say, you have a really thoughtful way of explaining things. You remind me of someone who's really comfortable being themselves. It's rare, but it's refreshing. There's a confidence in how you talk about your work, like you actually care and you're not just saying what sounds good. This works because it makes the conversation more interesting than small talk. It shows you're actually paying attention to her. It creates a natural flow instead of forcing things. It makes you stand out from guys who try too hard. And let me add this, it shows emotional intelligence. Most men rush to fill every silence with compliments or try to impress too soon, but when you hold back just a little and leave her with something to think about, it changes the energy completely. Remember, this is not about playing games, it is about having better, more engaging conversations. Use it naturally and it will help you connect with people in a more authentic. The secret compliment way. Phrase 2. The secret compliment, the hidden key to making her feel truly seen. Let me tell you why most compliments fail miserably. The average attractive woman hears, "You're beautiful" so often it becomes background noise. By age 25, she has developed an emotional armor against generic flattery. It's like walking past the same billboard every day. Eventually you stop seeing it. The same happens with compliments. If she hears the same surface level praise from every guy, it loses meaning. You think you're being sincere, but she feels nothing. That's why you need something different, something that hits deeper than looks. But what if I told you there is a way to cut through that armor and make her feel something genuine? Enter the secret compliment. This is not about flattery, this is about observation, and observation is rare. Most people are too busy thinking about what to say next, but when you're present, really paying attention, you start noticing the things others miss. The way she thinks before she speaks, the way she lights up when talking about something meaningful. That's where the power lies. It works because it targets something deeper. Tone or appearance, it speaks to her sense of self. The science behind why this works. Princeton researchers found that compliments about skills create 3 times more attraction than looks-based praise. Character traits are remembered 5 times longer. Unique behaviors trigger an emotional response in the brain's reward centers. Think about it. Ague says, "You're gorgeous," she's hard at. A guy says, "The way you explain that, it shows you really think deeply." Now you've got her attention. You've stepped outside the noise and said something that makes her feel seen, not just admired. How to craft the perfect secret compliment. Wait for the right moment. It should come after she has revealed something authentic. Don't force it. Don't make it sound like a technique. Make it feel like a natural response. Toho she is. Make it specific. Not "you are smart," but the way you explain that concept shows real depth of understanding. Keep it real. Only compliment what you genuinely notice. Powerful examples that actually work. Most people wouldn't pick up on this, but you have an incredible talent for making people feel heard. I noticed it when you specific example. You've got this rare combination of confidence and warmth. It's not something you see every day. The way your mind works is fascinating. When you said specific insight, it showed aerially unique perspective. The delivery masteress pause slightly before delivering it. It shows it's coming from genuine thought. Maintain soft eye contact, but don't stare intensely. Move in naturally afterward. Don't linger waiting for validation. Let the moment breathe. Confidence is in not needing our action. Let her process it without pressure. What happens in her mind first comes surprise. Wait, he noticed that about me. Then validation. Someone finally sees the real me. Finally attraction. I want to be around someone who gets me, and this isn't just theory. I've seen it, I've used it, and I've watched it change the tone of entire conversations from surface level to emotionally charged in seconds. Advanced technique. The compliment sandwich. Observation. When you did X compliment, it showed your view offer quality impact. And that's rare because example when you changed the subject to include Sarah in the conversation earlier it showed real social awareness. Most people are too self-focused to notice when someone is being left out. Warning signs: you redoing it wrong. She says thanks but doesn't engage further. Too generic. She seems uncomfortable. Too personal. Too soon. She questions your sincerity. Not specific enough. The Stoic philosophy behind this: Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look beneath the surface." This compliment style embodies that wisdom. When you notice and articulate someone's deep qualities, you demonstrate presence, perception, emotional intelligence, all traits of high value individuals throughout history. Your challenge today: next conversation you have with a woman, find one authentic thing to compliment that has nothing to do with her appearance. Watch how differently she responds compared to surface level flatter. You'll see the difference, and so will she. Phrase 3: the reverse. The reverse question: the psychological power play that makes her chase. Let me reveal a brutal truth about attraction. Most men never learn. The person asking the questions controls the conversation, but the person who reverses them controls the connection. This is not about playing games, it is about understanding the hidden dance of intriguing conversation. When done right, this single technique can transform dull small talk into an electrifying exchange where she's actively working to impress you. I've seen it over and over again, not just in bars or dates but in real-world interactions where power dynamics shift with just one sentence. Why this works like magic: every woman has an invisible interview mode where men bombard her with questions. What do you do for work? Where are you from? What are your hobbies? Heard it 100 times, the same questions in the same order with the same empty energy behind them. It's predictable, it's boring, and most importantly it puts all the social pressure on her to perform. The reverse question flips this dynamic by making her qualify herself to you. It's a subtle power shift, showing you are selective, not just thirsty for attention. It also creates playful tension, the good kind that sparks attraction and makes you memorable. How to execute it perfectly: when she asks you a personal question like, "Why are you single? What do you do for fun? What are you looking for?" you respond with one of these: "Why do you think I am? What's your guess?" I could ask you the same thing, but I think I already know. These aren't deflections, they re-invitations, invitations to curiosity. Thomas Derry: to reflection, the psychology behind the magic, the curiosity hook. She now has to think about you instead of just answering the qualification test. She'll often reveal more about herself while guessing, and that "I think I already know" creates delicious mystery. It's not about being cocky, it's about being composed, confident in a way that says, "I don't need to win you over, but I am listening closely." Real-world example from my client: her: "So why is a guy like you still single?" Him: "What's your theory?" Her: "Maybe you're too picky." Him: "Interesting. What would make someone too picky in your eyes?" Boom, now they're having a real conversation instead of an interview. There's tension, there's depth, there's room for her to chase your approval a little, and that's rare. Advanced tactics: the eyebrow raise when you say, "I think I already know." Pause and glance at her lips briefly. The slow smile: let your smile build as she answers to create natural tension. These subtle nonverbals amplify the effect without saying a word. The bait switch: after she answers, say calmly, "But the real reason is more interesting." Now she's hooked, waiting, wondering. Common mistakes to avoid: using it for basic factual questions. "Where do you live?" Don't reverse that, overusing it and seeming evasive. Save it for the right moments, not having a good answer ready when she insists. If she flips it back on you, be ready to share something sincere, but don't spill everything. The Stoic wisdom behind this: Epictetus: it is not what happens to you but how you respond that matters. This technique embodies that principle. You are not just answering questions, you are consciously shaping the interaction. You are showing leadership in the flow of conversation without forcing, without pressure. Your mission: use this tool not to dominate the conversation but to deepen it. Let her see you're not just different, you're grounded. Let her feel that talking to you isn't a performance, it's a challenge. She wants to rise. Tohen: you reverse the question, you reverse the chase. Next time a woman asks when you reverse the question, you a personal question, resist the urgito, give the predictable answer, flip it back playfully, and watch how much more engaged she becomes. You'd be surprised how quickly the energy shifts. I've had clients test this on casual coffee dates, and within minutes the woman who was politely nodding was suddenly leaning Ines King follow-ups and smiling wider. Why? Because you're no longer another guy checking boxes, you've just handed her a mirror and made her curious about The reflection, gentlemen, what you have just learned is not just conversation tricks, it is a complete reframe of how attraction works, and it's a shift that doesn't just help in romantic setting. CVE seen this used in business networking, high stakes interviews. Even reconnecting with old friends. The core idea is this: when you speak from calm certainty, from a place of grounded presence, you naturally become someone others want to stay connected with. These phrases work because they come from a place of calm confidence, not desperation. They are not about manipulating anyone, they are about expressing your best self in a way that naturally draws people in. Think about it: the man who drops an unfinished thought isn't hiding anything, showing he's layered. The man who gives a specific deep compliment isn't trying to flatter, he's showing he sees her. The man who reverses the questions, not dodging, he's creating an experience, a new rhythm she hasn't felt in a long time. But here is the truth: knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can replay this video 5 times, you can take notes, highlight phrases, repeat them in the mirror, but none of it matters if you don't step into the moment and speak from the version of yourself that isn't chasing but leading your mission. This week, choose just one of these techniques, whether it is the unfinished thought, the secret compliment, or the reverse question, and test it in the real world. Start small, use it with someone you conclusion already comfortable with, a coworker, a friend, or even during a casual conversation in line at a cafe. Watch the shift, then try it again in a different setting. Refine the delivery, feel how your energy changes when you're not trying to impress but simply expressing clarity and presence. Pay attention to how differently women respond when you stop chasing approval and start creating intrigue. The smiles last longer, the eye contact lingers, the conversation becomes alive. I want to hear your stories. Drop a comment below. Which phrase resonated with you most? Where will you test it first? What is your biggest aha moment from this video? And don't hold back, your comment might be the one that helps another man shift his mindset, his confidence, his entire approach. I read every comment and I will personally respond to the most insightful ones. For the men ready to go deeper, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week we are breaking down the 2-second eye trick that makes her chase you, a powerful technique used by charismatic men throughout history, and yes, it's rooted in psychology and presence, in energy, not performance. And remember, tis not about collecting lines or playing games, it is about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts great connections through confidence, awareness, and authenticity. Walk in truth, gentlemen, and I will see you in the next